I have just broken a new record in Minecraft. I am officially the worst Minecraft player of all time. I have 112 deaths and pretty much no items within 48 hours of playing on this server. And do not ask me where I got those 112 deaths from. All I can answer you with is pain and misery. But today we change. I will begin construction of the industrial district that will make us the most powerful person on the Warped SMP server, where we have almost every item in the game. Before we jump right into creating our industrial district, I just wanted to tell you guys that later in the video we shall be checking out what happened to those shulkers we collected from the end. So be sure to stick around to the end of the video, and of course don't forget to like and subscribe. Now, back to the video. So, step 1 to having any successful base in Minecraft, of course, is having villagers, because villagers power everything in the game at this point. So, I took a little trip over to one of my neighbors called Meevil, and we fetched ourselves a couple of villagers and boated them back over to our base, where we sent them through the nether portal with some workstation tricks. And then on the other side, we used some more tricks to get them up a ladder onto the nether roof, where we dug a hole in the last episode. And once we got them up the ladder, we got them into the portal on the top. And finally, after hours of hard work, we had got our villagers into the correct spot. I then started work on the infrastructure for our industrial district, which, as you can see, consists of mainly just dark oak logs. The main idea behind this design was so that in these 3x3 beams I was able to transport all the items I needed for our farms, and even transport villagers if I had to. Second step to our industrial district was, of course, a cobblestone farm, because cobblestone is a very important resource for getting an industrial district going in terms of building redstone components and just having building blocks in general. The design I used was one made by Mango many years ago, and to this day it still works perfectly. All it needs is, I think, 16 buckets of lava and a whole lot of water, and it generates the cobblestone inside the obsidian structure and then sends a little bit of TNT from a TNT juper and blows it all up. And it's got a bit of a failsafe in the middle with some water that prevents the whole thing from breaking if you log out at the wrong time. So then I fired the whole thing up for the first time, and luckily for me it worked. As you can see, it blows up all the cobblestone in the middle. Step 3 was making sure that our gear was actually back up to speed, because we had been running around in iron gear for far too long. So I worked to get my diamond gear back. But since grinding spiders was so boring, I actually built a little fishing place in the background and could get some extra loot from the fishing. But as you can see, we managed to get some pretty good enchantments while we were here. Sadly, I did not get any feather falling on the boots, which is kind of a problem because I think I've died at least 90% of the times just from fall damage. So hopefully at some point we can get that feather falling situation sorted out. As you can see, this is all the great loot we got from the fishing, including some enchanted books, and string, and fish, and name tags, and all the other things you'd get. Alright my friends, before we get back to the industrial district building, I want to show you a little clip on what happened to our shulker expedition that we went on last episode, and how that ended out. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy. We have finally got all the shulkers back into the overworld. So what we're going to do now is jump back into the overworld, right at spawn, and hopefully we can get our shulkers into our flying machine. Okay, there may be a couple of shulkers still here. But you know what? I declare that not my problem. This mess, I declare not my problem. Because this place is all a mess anyway. It's probably going to get reset. Okay. Wish me luck, people. And goodbye. Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? Ah, there they are. Okay, then. We're going to have to sort out this mess. shouldn't be too difficult. Okay. I've got this, I've got this, I've got this. I don't got this, I don't got this. Okay, that's one. Teleport to the slab, teleport to the slab. No, to the slab. To the block. I don't want these guys to die. No! My friends, we are finally on our way out of the spawn area. We have suffered some casualties. We have lost a couple shulkers, but we still have three. Three should hopefully get the job done. I really, really do hope so. But we could maybe heal them up a little bit, just to be sure. Alright, everyone, we have made it back to the shulker farm. As you can see, we have a couple shulkers intact there. Hopefully, they should be enough to get this farm running. So what we're gonna do is block these. Oh, right, we can't do that. Block these guys off. Can I? Yeah, I can do that. That. And that. I have to find a way to separate these shulkers into separate, like little minecarts, because we can't have all three of them rush in there at once. So we first have to split them up. Make sure this works. Okay, I'm actually quite excited to see this going, because I've never built a shulker farm before, so this should be entertaining. Also, as you can see, I've got like nothing. So this should be interesting. Okay. Now, hopefully... Oh, there goes my pickaxe. Hopefully I can just... Okay, they're still all in one. Would like them to separate. Aha! Ladies and gentlemen, we have 3 separated shulker boxes. Okay, we're gonna have to do this without a crafting table. Without a pickaxe. So what I'm going to do is break this block, break this rail, break. Oh, no, 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 no. No! Oh, rip, that guy just went off the edge. Moment of truth. What did I do wrong? Did it? Oh, great. They're in the same block. Wait a minute. Guys, that looks like a shulker. That looks like a duplicated shulker. Oh my gosh. I think this is working, guys. Oh my gosh. I think we actually have a working shulker farm. What? He's not allowed to do that. This is a broken shulker. He's actually... He's not opening. Well... We lost the shulker. Well, I can't exactly say our shulker expedition went too well, because we ended up losing a shulker and our farm broke, and we ended up with shulkers all over the place, as you can see by this one right here. But there is still hope. Let's first finish the industrial district, and then we'll come back to how I managed to fix our shulker problem. Step 4 to our grand plan was actually getting our villagers into a villager breeder. And I was just using the standard design that I've been building since like the dawn of time or something, which just involves a little piece of land in the middle to grow food, and then 4 beds across from some trapdoors to lure the baby villagers over. And from there we built our little holding chamber for all the new villagers we would create, which just, you know, it's also pretty standard design at this point, just some water and a bit of rails at the other end to catch all the villagers one by one. As you can probably tell by now, the theme and decorations I was going for the industrial district was of course the dark oak, and the stone bricks because we had all that cobblestone now, and of course some glass so that we could see what was going on inside all of our little farms and contraptions that we made. Then I started work on the villager transportation system to get the villagers from the breeder into our holding cell. And once again, we used our 3x3 structures on the side to be able to fit this in nicely into our industrial district without needing to build any extra tubes. So I think these structures are going to work out pretty nicely because we can transport villagers in them and we can even transport our items. Then I capped it off with some trapdoors to give it a nice finished look, and then our village transportation was done. Step 5, of course, was putting our villagers to use inside of an iron farm. So I constructed this iron farm you see here with 8 villager pods, which would mean about 24 villagers, but luckily we had our breeder to sort that out. So I put some rails down in our structures so that we could transport our villagers around, and then I sent them up into a bubble stream so that I could get them to the top into their cells. I actually created these really simple systems to get the villagers from the tracks into their cells using just a activator rail to spit out the villagers, and then a detector rail to open the trapdoor once the villager landed on top of it, and then the system was done. So I sent off our first villager to test if the system worked. So he went up the stream and boom, dropped straight into his cell. So then I went on and did this for all the rest of the villagers, because we had quite a few to get in there. So as you can see, we went around and slowly but surely filled up the rest of our iron farm with villagers. Step 6 of our grand plan was, of course, the villager trading halls, because how else are you supposed to get all your great gear that you're going to build everything else with? So we built these little cells. I actually made a video on these villager cells, and it's on my channel if you are interested to see it. So we built about 32 cells in our villager trading hall for now, and we started off by sending our first villagers into the trading hall. As you can see, we are using the design I created with the flying machine and the activator rails to make sure that all our villagers can get into their cells really easily. And I think I've only built about half the trading hall so far, so if we need more space, I can always expand. And then just a little side project I did was a lava farm, so that we could have enough lava to build our cobblestone farm, and of course, so that our iron farm had the lava it needed. So this is what our industrial district looked like after 18 hours of working on it, and I think it was looking pretty good. Quite a lot of progress to have been done in that short amount of time. But next on our list was the slime farm. So I headed down into the swamp and I created a big circle. And once again, this is a design by Il Mango, after they discovered that slime farms are actually really good in swamps now, so we don't actually have to dig out entire slime chunks to build it. And instead of using all those millions of mushrooms, I just used some glow lichen. So yes, in the description I will put a link to the original video by Il Mango and the tutorial that I used to make this farm. So with our slime farm done, I concluded our progress with the industrial district for today and went back to the grind of the shulkers. As you can see, we created a massive mess in the nether with the shulkers, but I had a solution. I was going to try get the shulkers that we needed onto a platform with a rail next to it so we could catch them and send them back to the overworld into our farm. Finally, we cleaned up the mess and actually got some shulkers in the minecarts. As you can see, the minecarts picked up the shulker and sent them down to our portal, where we had a little collection system to pick up all the shulkers so we could use them again much easier. And as you can see, we still had a few shulkers left just in case something didn't work. The next step was healing up all the shulkers, because if you don't have a full health shulker in your shulker farm, it tends to break, as I figured out the hard way. So then I made a little system here to separate the shulkers one by one, and I pushed it down to the portal where I had an activator rail which would send the shulker into the overworld. And so I jumped into the overworld as well with an invisibility potion, but the shulker was missing, so I was a little bit worried. But after a quick look in free cam, I found it just hanging off the side of one of our structures. So then I prepared some rails so that I could catch the shulker and send it up into the farm. At this point, it was probably my 5th attempt at trying to get a shulker into our shulker farm, because all the other times it just broke for some reason. The shulker decided it was going to shoot bullets at itself without opening, and without opening, it couldn't duplicate. So what it was doing, it was just constantly hurting itself, and eventually the shulker just teleported away without duplicating. So that's how we lost all our shulkers. And what a surprise, when we tried it again with this farm, it did the exact same thing. It just suddenly disappeared and it was gone. So I had to do the whole process again. But luckily, I had already made the collection system for it and the rails, so it was easy. So I sent another shulker into the overworld, picked him up with a minecart, and sent him up on his way. So I flew up with the elytra to see if he got into the farm properly. And what can I say? The guy actually went into the farm and did his job for once. As you can see, there was duplication right there, duplication right there. And yeah, we actually had a working shulker farm. So 5 minutes later, I flew into the nether to make sure everything was actually working on the nether side. And it was. All the shulkers were properly getting stored in the front there, just in case something went wrong. And the shulkers were getting picked up from the portal, getting put in the powdered snow. And we were finally getting our shulker shells. So I put a chest there so we could check the loot. And we had a solid 5 stacks of shulker shells. Damn, and I really can't explain to you how much of a pain it was to get this thing working. But when it was done, it was a relief. And I decided that I would never ever build a shulker farm ever again. So that brings us to the end of the video. In 24 hours, we have managed to build a village breeder, an iron farm, a villager trading hall, a slime farm, a cobblestone farm, and a shulker farm. And I think that's pretty successful. So we are right on track to becoming the most powerful person on the Warped SMP server. So you guys just wait till the next episode to see what things I have decided to create and what farms I have decided to automate. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.